Today, we'll be considering the responsibility of carrying a concealed firearm, everything you need to know before you embark on this hopefully lifelong journey that is armed preparedness. First things first, understanding the law is paramount. Concealed carry laws can vary widely from state to state, ranging from you don't even need a permit to concealed carry, open carry, whatever you want to do with a pistol, all the way over to you pretty much basically can't carry at all. Hawaii. It is your responsibility to familiarize yourself with your state laws. This includes knowing where you can and cannot carry, the process for obtaining a permit, magazine restrictions, firearm restrictions, and if there's any training requirements involved as well. I'm not a lawyer, but I just want to get the legal side out of the way in a manner in which I can speak to. Choosing the right firearm for concealed carry is a very personal consideration. You want something that's not only concealable and comfortable, but also reliable. And quickly, so this video doesn't turn into 45 minutes, we're going to talk about size, caliber, ergonomics, things that you might want to consider for you and your lifestyle. Size matters, and oftentimes when people are buying their very first handgun, they try and go as small as possible. It's cute, you feel kind of like a spy, you feel like it's just going to disappear on your body. A lot of great pros indeed, but I, however, would probably recommend not going that route for your very first handgun. And hear me out. Some great options, but this list certainly isn't limited to that, are like the Glock 19, right here, the SIG P365X Macro, that's a really hard one to say, the Walther PDP and the PDP-F. On the larger side, the Springfield Prodigy, or a 4.25-inch kind of commander style 2011 in 9mm, and even things like Smith & Wesson's M&P 2.0. If you have smaller hands, kind of like me, you might want to start by looking at the SIG X Macro and or the Walther PDP-F. If you're larger, then probably do the opposite. When it's your only gun, you want it to have some versatility, so having it be an option that you can concealed carry comfortably with moderate to little printing. You can have it on your nightstand. It can serve as a decent home defense weapon, at least temporarily, if you plan on upgrading to an AR-15 or even like a combat shotgun. A smaller pistol really can't stretch to fit all the roles that something like this can. If you do feel like you really need to downsize for certain events, outfits, or seasons, or you just want an excuse to get another gun, I do feel like getting a smaller framed handgun, also a 9mm, is a logical second handgun purchase. Something kind of like the SIG P365 that I have here. Something small and concealable. When it comes to caliber, I'm going to be blanketly recommending that you go with 9mm. If you think you're recoil sensitive, first learn proper grip, stance, and structure.
Oh yeah, that's better, man. Look at that.
After that, try improving your grip strength, maybe even considering shooting outside where the shot report and the noise isn't going to be as jarring, and even maybe some recoil reduction modifications, hint, hint, and hint, hint. But we're not going to go into that really much today. Ergonomics can be a point of contention for many. It's a contributing factor as to why there are Glock fanboys, why there are SIG haters, and why there are 2011 snobs. I said contributing factor, not the only reason. The most common recommendation that you'll hear is to just pick a gun that, you know, feels good in your hand, that feels proper, that points naturally, and maybe even based on how it shoots for you. So it's very personalized. I would pose that unless you already have your proper fundamentals really locked in, you know the thumbs forward grip and it's second nature, then you're probably not going to know how a gun is supposed to feel in your hands or when you're shooting it. I would probably do a lot of research and base my decision for a first handgun off of, you know, any reports of reliability issues or QC, quality control issues, military contracts that are out there. Sometimes that can be a decent indication of what guns pass certain, you know, basic requirements. The aftermarket availability, the support out there for that platform that you're looking at, just to keep the door open for any potential future upgrades that you may or may not want to make. And just look at, watch, read lots of reviews based on the options that you are considering. I think an informed consent
What is PH consent?
style approach to selecting a firearm, especially your first, will serve you long-term despite its initial time investment. Finding the right holster and carry position is just about as important as the firearm selection itself. Comfort, accessibility, and safety are some key features here. We're going to explore the pros and cons of various different carrying positions, various different holster styles. I got a shoulder one right here in a future video, but there's a lot of content out there on those topics in the meantime. For now, I would just recommend that you start with appendix carry, so kind of like with these two, and maybe looking at other options if you need from there. Training is where the real work begins, making going to the range a habit, whether it's you by yourself doing drills or going with friends and trying to improve on a key fundamental for each session, making sure you don't waste sessions and precious ammo. Whether you sign up for any concealed carry training courses, in-person events, things like that is up to you. I have not personally done a training course or taken anything from an instructor before. I have, however, taken online courses from like Warrior Poet Society. I think that was a great, their handgun fundamentals and their pistol courses, even their rifle courses, and even their long range courses were fantastic resources for me in learning about this new journey that I was diving into. One thing that you can do each and every day, and it's free, is to practice situational awareness. And that is one of the most important things that you should be doing as a new firearm owner and carrier. In a violent situation, you may be outnumbered. They will definitely have the jump on you, and so you will be somewhat surprised. A firearm may not be enough to save you or loved one's life. What Canon usually does give you an opportunity to at least make the odds a little bit more in your favor is to practice situational awareness. Being able to spot early warning signs of aggressors and just staying vigilant, making sure that you are checking angles, looking around, and keeping your head out of your phone is a pretty huge one. Just remember that owning a firearm is a huge responsibility, and proficiency can make all the difference. Lastly, let's talk about mindset and responsibility. Carrying a concealed firearm is a huge commitment for you and those around you. It requires a mindset of de-escalation and avoidance of conflict whenever possible. Now that you have a gun, you really can't let things that may have bothered you in the past, like someone cutting you off in traffic, you have to thicken your skin and let things like inconveniences and even rudeness sometimes just deflect off you. Any escalation by you can result in a gunfight that you might not be legally in the clear for. Things like setting your own personal code of conduct for what scenarios you would be willing to take another life in. Whether that be in defense of property, defense of a loved one, defense of strangers, defense of yourself. Some people are willing to take a life in defense of their wife, their kids, but they would just let themselves get capped. You have to come to your own conclusions through thought, time, and even prayer. And lastly, regarding responsibility, familiarize yourself with where you can and cannot carry, any states that have reciprocity with your CCW if you travel a lot, alcohol limits, etc. And there you have it. I hope that your journey towards concealed carrying is a positive one. I hope this video can serve as a resource for you if you're new to the space. In that vein, if you're interested in learning about the universal firearm safety rules, you can go ahead and click here. It's a good place to start if you're new to guns. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe if you are looking forward to more content like this. Stay safe, stay responsible, and I'll see you in the next video.